Hi, my name is Sin. I'm currently about 470 pounds. At my highest, I was 608. I'm having the gastric sleeve done on October 23rd after over a decade of trying to get surgery and help. It doesn't matter why I gained weight or why I let myself get that high. What matters is that I'm in a good headspace. I know who I am. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm doing this because while I looked for information online and looked at other bloggers' posts on YouTube, everybody else can walk. Everybody else can get up and move. Nobody was as high as I was in weight. And if they were, it was somebody who was much taller. I never reached 5'2" when I could stand. I can't stand now more than a few steps with canes. I use a wheelchair to get around. The arthritis is so bad in my knees that they're bent at a permanent angle and stuck there. They figure I'm probably about 4 feet 10 inches. So imagine 5 foot, not quite 2, over 600 pounds walking around. It did a lot of damage to my knees. Because of that, how I have to exercise, how I have to move after my surgery, how I lose weight from this point on, how I lost from 608 down to 470, is going to be a different road than a lot of people who are out there. But I'm not the only person my size who's having this surgery. I am the largest person at this current size that my doctor's ever done surgery on. And if I'm the largest at this size, I can't imagine what he would have said when I was 600 pounds. So I know there are people my size out there. Whether you're taller and you carry it better, or you're stuck at home like me in a wheelchair or sleeping in a hospital bed trying to get help, you're not alone. You're not the only one out there. Because I'm comfortable in my own skin, and it took me long to get there, don't get me wrong. Because I'm comfortable in my own skin, I will be honest. I will be blatantly honest. I looked at one video and the guy was like, this might be TMI, but it's part of the journey. And he was right, you know. If you're going to do something like this and people are going to watch it looking for answers, you have to be honest. I have to be honest. And I'm okay with that because who I am now is somebody I love. I am fat, but that doesn't define who I am. I am a spectacular person. I have great friends. I have great family. I've got a great foundation and support group. Got a beautiful daughter who's about to make me a grandmother. I've got a lot to look forward to. I'll be 43 in December, so I'm still young enough to succeed at this, lose enough weight to really have a significant life. This is just the beginning of a journey, an adventure, and there's some trepidation, some anticipation, a little anxiety, a little fear. But I think I'll be okay. I'm on day 5 of the water diet, or the liquid diet, excuse me. I'm sucking on a Werther's Original sugar-free. I have really sensitive taste buds and a very sensitive palate for some reason. And so I most things that are sugar-free I don't like at all. But I can't tell the difference in these. They're really, really good. And they okayed me to eat these. Especially when I've got dry mouth. I'm trying to drink as much water as I can. I'm having a hard time with the protein drinks because a lot of them I find unpalatable and they kick in my gag reflex. And I want to be sick, and there's no point trying to put something into my system that's going to come right back up out of my system. and take energy doing so. So I'm trying to be creative. I found at Whole Foods, I live on the West Coast, I'm in Orange County, California. I found in a store called Whole Foods a non-flavored, raw, organic, gluten-free, fat-free, all this good stuff, protein shake. And again, I don't usually do well with protein shakes, but it changes the texture. I added it to some sorbet, really strong flavored sorbet, and it made the texture different. It gave you a chalky taste or feeling in your mouth, but it didn't change the flavor. I put it in some chicken bouillon last night, and again, same thing. It thickened it up, it changed it to a tan color instead of a clear yellow broth, but it didn't change the chicken flavor, so it was palatable. I'm also drinking Ensure Vanilla, the small ones, and butter pecan, which surprisingly tastes like butter pecan, actually. I'm going in for labs tomorrow with my primary care physician, and I'll get all of that kind of stuff taken care of. And then I go in 8 days to start this. And I've been lucky so far. Contrary to what I've heard from most people, I don't feel like I'm starving. I don't feel like I'm denying myself. I can roll by my favorite fast food place on my chair and not even think about it. I went out with friends yesterday to go to the movies and rolled by Five Guys hamburgers, and that's my favorite hamburger place in the whole world. And yet didn't even think about it. It was like, it would be nice, but no, I'm not really hungry. I wasn't craving it. I think part of that is, and I'm not feeling hungry, but I think that's a mind over matter. I've heard a lot of people talk about mind hunger versus real hunger. Whether your body's hungry or whether it's just your head telling you it's time to eat, you'd normally be eating. I'm not having that, and I think maybe part of that is because my head's in a really good place. I know where I'm at. I know who I am at. I know that I really, really want this, and I think the desire to do this and to change my physical aspect is helping override some of those things that would normally be plaguing me that I'm not having to deal with. So I'm very lucky in that respect. I'm not really having any other issues. I'm not feeling any weakness, even with not getting enough protein. My spirits are really up. And I'm looking forward to this. So, I don't know if anybody's going to watch this or if anybody's going to care. But I'll put another one up in a few days and we'll see. I also should warn you, I got hit by a car. On my wheelchair in the crosswalk. I have the right of way, and somebody hit me with their car. So I'm seeing a chiropractor. Hit me in late August. I'm seeing a chiropractor, and as a result of that, I've been put on no gym for 3 months, pending the reevaluation or examination. So the way I exercise is going to be atypical from how a lot of you will be exercising. I have some bed exercises that I know how to do to work my legs and my core muscles, my stomach muscles. And I've got a really nifty, very thickly braided exercise band hanging over my bed that I use to work my upper body, since I can't stress my back, so I'm not in the gym pulling weights. For me, I have to remember that if I want my upper body to be strong, I have to work my stomach muscles. If I want my stomach muscles to be strong, I want to be able to sit up straight, I have to work my upper legs. My upper legs are held up by my, what's below you holds up what's above you. So you can't just pick up some weights or go for a walk and think that's enough. You're only working one part of your body. And one of the biggest things when people have this kind of surgery is if you're not careful, if you don't get enough protein, your body is going to eat away at not just fat, but water weight, which is really easy, and eventually you run out of. And then it starts eating away at your muscle, because if you're not using your muscles and telling your muscles, I need you, I intend to use you, here I am, I'm pulling this, I'm obviously using you, then it'll start eating away at your muscles instead of fat. And I didn't know this, but muscles burn 37 calories a minute, I think it was, versus 1 calorie of fat being burned. If you just sit there and do nothing, your body will burn a calorie, but your muscles will burn 37 in that same minute. And it's so important when you're losing weight to burn calories. So the more muscle you have, the more calories you have. And people our size, people my size, the fact that I can get up, even with the help of canes, stand up, turn myself around, sit myself down, get in and out of bed, get in my wheelchair and go to Disneyland, getting on and off of rides. Some of them I'm getting out of my chair to do, is great exercise for me. But in order to be able to do that, I have to be able to use my feet and my ankles and my legs and my knees and my stomach to hold my body upright, weaving in and out of people as if I was driving on the freeway, keeping my posture erect so that I don't slouch, because that hurts too much. Dodging people and stopping on a dime, up and down sidewalks and cutouts. You don't think about those kind of things unless you're in a chair. But every time you go up a sidewalk cutout, you're leaning and your body is moving. My stomach keeps me centered and positioned so that I stay in the middle of that chair. So I get up and I get in my chair every single day, and I'm up from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. I'm in that wheelchair and I'm moving and I'm exercising and I'm working to keep the muscle I have so that I can have the most life I can while I'm in the chair, and so that when I get out of the chair I will have burned as much fat as possible and kept as much muscle as possible. So that's my plan. Exercise in bed while I can. Exercise in the gym when I'm out. Keep as much muscle as I possibly can to burn the most calories I can, because I have the potential to actually be what somebody my size should weigh. I have small bone structure. I could potentially get down to 110, 120 pounds if I work at it, if I bust my butt, if I exercise. And I love the gym. I love the endorphin rush. I love the high that comes from working out. I love going in at my size in a wheelchair in a frilly pink dress, rolling into the workout area where all the big buff guys are, all dripping sweat, and walk up or roll up to a machine and watch some guy who just walked away pulling 40 or 60 pounds, and I put it down to 100 or 120, and I start doing the same number of reps he was doing, and I'm not even breaking a sweat. Just because you're fat doesn't mean you don't have huge amounts of muscle. It takes a lot of muscle to move that much body mass. Being fat and moving means you've got the muscles. You just need to remember them and remind them and learn to use them. If you start to use them, they will start to work for you. So I'm not embarrassed about going into the gym. I think it's a hoot. And then I get guys who normally would have scoffed or would have made me feel bad before my head was straight on my shoulders. I would have taken it really badly and run, crying probably, because somebody made a negative comment. But instead, now I can turn that around because I can outwork them. I can outmuscle them. I can outpull them. And it's kind of fun. Try it. I hope some of you watch this. I hope somebody watches this. I hope somebody gets some information from this. Leave me messages. I'll answer. Start asking questions. Ask me. Ask other people you know. Get online and look for other people who are putting information out there. Ask them. Ask questions. Anybody who is out there is going to answer them. There is nothing you can't ask me that I won't honestly tell you. I'll put something up in a few days again. I hope I see you. Bye.